Welcome to This Week This Morning, the weekly video that gets you up to speed on the week's most important developments for your business and your taxes. The latest $1.9 trillion stimulus bill has been passed by the Senate, and it's looking likely that it will become law early this week. So today I'm going to break down exactly what's in the bill as it pertains to stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, tax credits, and small business funding. So as you're probably aware, this bill does contain stimulus checks. They will be $1,400 per person, which includes dependents regardless of age. So that could be your grandma, your kid, or even your drunk uncle. If they're a valid dependent listed on your tax return, that could earn you up to $1,400. Further, there is no cap on the number of dependents. So if you support a lot of people, this could be a pretty good payday for you. On the downside, the qualifying income limits have been reduced substantially. If you're single and you had adjusted gross income of $80,000 or more on the tax return that you last filed, you won't get anything. The same is true for those married folks who had AGI above 160K and those who file as head of household and made more than 120K. You'll get the full credit if you make less than 75K if you're single, 112,500 if you file as head of household, and 150K if you're married. If you make between 75 and 80K if you're single, or 112.5 to 120K if you're a head of household, or 150K to 160K if you're married, you'll get a partial check. Let's say you're married with 2 children and made 155K. Instead of getting the full 5,600, which is 1,400 per person times 4, you'd only get half of that since you were halfway through the phase-out range, and thus you'd only get $2,800. So it's obvious the phase-out range is really small, but can make a huge difference as to how much you get paid. At this point, if you haven't filed your 2020 tax return, you'd need to file it ASAP to have any sort of chance for the IRS using it for this round of stimulus checks, which you'd only do if your income decreased in 2020 compared to 2019. Time is running out incredibly quickly, but you may want to take a look at making a last-second IRA contribution for tax year 2020 if it will help you qualify for more of the stimulus check. Or you may just want to wait, as the IRS has stated that it's thinking through how to allow those whose income has reduced substantially in 2020 to be able to claim this credit when the checks are issued prior to them filing their 2020 return. This would likely be done by claiming it on either your 2020 or 2021 tax return, or there might even be an advanced tax credit that you could apply for prior to filing the return. There are no specifics out there just yet, but it is something to keep a close eye on. Moving on to unemployment benefits. This new bill calls for an extension of the $300 per week bonus to September 6th. And I know that many were disappointed that it was lowered from the proposed $400 a week, but one item that was thrown in is that the first $10,200 of benefits will be tax-free. And most states don't tax these benefits anyway, so that first $10,200 would be entirely tax-free for most folks. And speaking of tax benefits, there are a few important tax credits in the Senate bill. The first is an increased child tax credit, and this credit would move from $2,000 a child to $3,000 per child under age 18 and $3,600 per child under age 8. It used to only be $2,000 per child under age 17, and there was no increased amount for children under 6. On top of that, the tax credit is fully refundable, which means that you'll get the full tax credit regardless of your income and tax situation. The old credit was not refundable, so you had to have as much or more total tax on your income in order to get the full benefit of the credit. Next, the earned income tax credit has been nearly tripled. Additionally, the upper age limit has been eliminated, and the childless credit could be claimed by those as young as age 19 instead of 25. And you may remember the paid sick and family leave tax credit, which was one of the first COVID-related relief measures from last year. This credit has been extended through October 1st. And as a reminder, it provides a tax credit to employers to cover wages for up to 2 weeks for those who get COVID or who are quarantining, and up to 10 weeks for those who were staying home with kids whose schools were closed, which basically encompasses just about every family in America with 2 working spouses. Next, and this one isn't necessarily a tax credit per se, although it might come in the form of an advanced tax credit, is that for those who are laid off, the federal government will pay 100% of the former employee's COBRA health insurance premiums through September. And last but not least, more money is being allocated for the EIDL and PPP programs. $15 billion is going to EIDL and $7 billion for the Paycheck Protection Program. Because of this, it's almost guaranteed that the Paycheck Protection Program will be extended beyond March 31st. Also, if you have a Schedule C business, and this isn't part of the bill, but you should know that you can now use gross revenue instead of net profit to calculate your PPP loan amount, which is why this extension of time will be very important to you. And for those who already did PPP 1 and PPP 2, there is mounting pressure to equalize the playing field for those who got smaller loans than they otherwise would have under the new rules. So keep an eye out for breaking news on that front. And last, if you own a bar or restaurant, you should know that there is $25 billion being allocated to help pay for payroll, rent, utilities, and other operating expenses. A bar or restaurant could receive up to $10 million. Anyway, as things evolve and as clarifying guidance is released, we'll continue to keep you in the know on the important stuff. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.